Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back for another travel video. My name is Alana and I make content on inner work, self-care, travel. So if you're into that, definitely stick around for this video as well as subscribe so that you could stay in the loop on any content that I create, any videos I upload, or any thoughts that I post on YouTube and on Instagram. In this video, I will be showing you more of the room that we stayed in. I know I shared it briefly in the cruise vlog that I posted last month, so definitely check that video out after this if you have not seen it. But I'm gonna share more of that Oceanview balcony stateroom, as well as some of the areas of the cruise ship that I enjoyed and my mom enjoyed. And I also will share the things I didn't like so much and the things I loved about the cruise. So if you want to stick around for all of those things, then you could just watch this video in its entirety. But if there's something specific that you want to skip to, I will have the timestamps below so that you could view the content that is of most value to you. Real quick, before we get in, I wanted to give a shout out to all of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, shared the cruise vlog video from last month. I was so blown away at people's reactions, people's comments. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect to have almost 5,000 views on that video as of the day I'm recording this. And it gave me so much just like joy and so much determination just to keep creating and to keep going this year. And so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for everybody who liked that video, because I almost didn't post it. Like I almost didn't post that video, and that was my first cruise vlog, and for it to do as well as it did, I was very shocked, and I probably shouldn't be shocked. I told myself this year I wanted to be delusional and just think so much bigger and create so much bigger, and that video really showed me that it's possible, that anything is possible. And it's not a big deal like in the grand scheme of things, but it's a big deal to me. I'm just blown away. I'm just so grateful. And now I get it why YouTubers will be online crying when they get to, like 1,000 subscribers or even 100,000 subscribers, because without you guys, no matter how small, it doesn't matter how small of a following I have, or subscribers or supporters or people who love me or even hate me, no matter how small, it means so much to me, because I didn't expect this even at this point of my YouTube journey. I did not at all. And so thank you so much for watching and sharing and all those things. And if you ever have, anything you need to say to me directly and you don't want it to be said in a DM, you could always shoot me an email. My email is always below. I have one for business and one that you could personally send an email to me. So definitely send me an email, drop me an email if you want to talk about anything that I discuss in any of these videos or anything like that. And if however I could help you, I will definitely do that. So thank you again, and let's get into the video. So our stateroom was located on the 10th deck. We were on the starboard side of the ship, which is the right side of the ship. It's usually the part that's not on the port, but I mean, most of the time, I think 3 of the ports we went to, we were port side. So it just kind of depends on the ship where you're going, on what side of the ship you'll be on. But I really like the starboard side on this particular cruise ship. We stayed in cabin number 10608. It was a lovely room. It had the ocean view. That's what I love about cruises. Like any cruise I go on, I try to get in a balcony with the ocean view, because I like to look at the ocean. I'm cool with just sitting outside, reading my book and just chilling, looking at the waves. The stateroom, the ocean view balcony suite, there's a larger one, but this is the regular size one. It's about 182 square feet. It's pretty big. Like I actually like the size of the room. The balcony is about 50 square feet and it's private. It says like online that it's a private balcony, but really you have these like clear frosted type of dividers. And if you choose a stateroom where you have connecting, they take them off, or I don't know if they have like a specific room for it or if they just take off the little dividers, but they have those there. The room comes with 2 double beds or twin beds, 2 twin beds, I believe it is. But what they usually do is they put them together to make a king. So they have that, so you could have them separated or put together. This room does hold up to 4 people. We only had 2 people, my mom and I. We opted to have our bed split. I don't know why they didn't split it beforehand, because we told Royal Caribbean twice. We told them on the phone, we talked to a person, and then we also did it online to have the bed split, but they weren't split when we actually got there. But Emerson, our stateroom attendant, he was awesome. He split them for us and we went about our day. Like I was saying before, you could have up to 4 people. If you have 3 in a room, they usually do a single sofa bed. And then if you have 4 people, they'll do a double sofa bed. I don't know exactly how they look. I don't even know if the sofa we had in the room was a sofa bed. I was supposed to check, but I totally forgot. The room, like I said, was very spacious. It did have a lot of storage space, which was great. So there was storage in the closet. There was shelving there. There was a safe, which we put like our passports, our money, our valuable jewelry, and I sometimes put my Apple Watch in there and my camera, but I didn't have a feeling that people would steal from me. It's just, I guess, more comforting to put it in the safe because I don't feel like people are going to steal from us on the cruise ship, but I guess it can happen. On the vanity, there is different storage areas. There's storages above on the sides. There's storage below, which is in the form of drawers. There were hangers in the room. I think it was a pretty good amount of hangers, but if you need extra hangers, you could always ask your stateroom attendant for more hangers. So we ended up hanging up everything. I hung up 85% of my stuff was hung up. We also hung up stuff like on the walls using metal clips, which I'll tag below in the description. We used metal hooks, so we hung up like our bags, our purses, anything that could be hung up on a hook, basically. We put it on the hook. I used the clips to put like our excursion stuff, so I could grab it every day for when we went on our excursions, and I didn't have to worry about it too much. That was easy. That's something that the cruise world uses for cruising. I also used the hooks like to dry stuff because they didn't have in the room the lines like they used to have in cruise ships where you have like this little a laundry line going across the bathroom so you could hang up your stuff. So I hung up my swimsuits, or my mom would hang up her swimsuits on the hooks, or we would put it outside and kind of secure it so the wind didn't blow it away. I do have a quick note on Royal Caribbean. You're not able to bring like irons and steamers on the cruise ship. So you will have to bring like a wrinkle guard or have the clothes pressed by the staff there. And so that's what we ended up doing. And then those items obviously come with hangers too. So we had plenty of hangers to hang everything up. That's all I'm trying to say. There's storage in the closet too. So you can put like your suitcase there. Also, your suitcases could fit pretty easily underneath the bed if you have like a standard size suitcase. If you have like a weird shaped suitcase or like large luggage, like really large luggage, I don't know if it will fit or not, but I felt like my medium-sized COCOCAY bag laying flat, there was at least probably 5 inches or maybe 5 inches more of room I had because I put another bag like on top of my suitcase. So I didn't really use my suitcase, but to kind of put like dirty clothes into or things like that. I put my shoes underneath my bed. I put my luggage underneath my bed. She put her luggage underneath her bed, and we both had a medium-sized luggage. Mine is a medium-sized COCOCAY bag I got from TJ Maxx like 4 years ago. I don't know if they still sell it, but I will either include a picture of it or a link to a luggage that is similar in size. But pretty much your luggage should fit underneath unless it's like abnormally large or you have a weird shaped type of luggage. I still had about 4 to 5 inches, I think, on top of my COCOCAY, like with it laying flat underneath for me to put more stuff on top of it. So there's plenty of room to be able to put your stuff and other people's stuff underneath your bed and in the closet. And like I said, if you bring hooks, metal hooks, you're able to hang a lot of other stuff up on the wall that would otherwise be kind of clouding your space. The plugs. One of the things that I was researching like a psychopath before we went on the Oasis was how many plugs do they have? Because I had heard that some Royal Caribbean ships did not have enough plugs. I will link the different travel adapters that we used below. I did have a US one as well as a European one, and I got these specifically because they had more USB-C ports in them. There were 5 American outlets in total, 3 on the top of the vanity on the tabletop. There was one below, and then there was one European one below the vanity, and then another European one underneath the bed, as well as another American outlet underneath the bed. So if you have an adapter and you have plugs, it's enough space to get it done. Honestly, if you didn't even have an adapter, I feel like it's enough plugs. The only thing is that when you look at the adapters on Royal Caribbean on the Oasis, they're so close together that most outlets are thicker. Like the base, your adapter is usually thicker, so it doesn't fit well into the outlet, into the socket. I wanted to show a quick example. So if you have a plug like this is the one I use for my my MacBook. That one would fit fine. If you have like 3 of these in this shape, you're fine. But if you have an adapter like this or anything thicker, like wider, I'm showing you the right. But if you have an adapter like this, where it's like wide, when you put it into the outlet or the adapter, it takes up more space. So keep that in mind too, because there are 5 plugs, but again, the 3 of them on the top, if they're too thick, your adapter, it won't fit into the socket. You won't be able to put 3. You would only be able to put 2. Overall, if you're not bringing a whole bunch of electronics, then you might not even need an adapter. The bathroom was very nice. Like the bathroom was pretty big. Like I didn't expect it to be that big either. There was plenty of hooks to hang up like your towels. So if you did have 4 people, it's space there. We put a lot of our stuff on the shelving, and the shelving that's on the wall there. We put all our stuff in there. I had like my water pick. I had a lot of stuff, you know, because I bring a lot of stuff for my face and my supplements, and I had all of that stuff up there. My mom had all her stuff up there and her toothbrushes. So a lot of space, plenty of space. In the bathroom, the shower, they also have an area where you can put your feet like on. So if you want to shave your legs, or, you know, if you need help cleansing your skin, they have like a little foot bar there, which was really cool. The shower, you could actually take the handle down and use it like a handheld shower if you wanted to. That was cool, and it swiveled around. I really like the shower, like how they decorated the shower doors. It's like this wet look where it makes it look like somebody took a shower, and you know, when the water's just coming down the glass, it looks kind of like that. So I really like that. That was cool. They have a blow dryer in there. There is a refrigerator. I don't even know if you want to call it a mini fridge. Like, some people say when you look online that it's more of a cooler, and I honestly didn't look at it that much because I didn't put any drinks in there, because I drink most of my drinks room temperature now. So, but my mom seemed like all her waters were fine. The room was really nice. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I feel like there was a lot of storage space. Even if you did not bring hooks, I do recommend you bring the magnetic hooks with you and the magnetic clips for extra space. But there was overall a lot of room in that balcony, and I really enjoyed the room and the view. When I wasn't doing anything, like out doing an activity or off the boat, I spent a lot of my time on the balcony reading, writing, and just looking at the waves, looking at the stars. It was just so freeing, because right now I live in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is very dry and brown, and just being able to be near water again, because I am a California girl, I'm from the Bay Area, and it's always so great just to be on the water, just to be able to experience that. And I talked a lot about that, I think, in my vlog. Like, just being on the water, just being in the middle of nowhere, to me is awesome. It makes me feel so much more alive, and that's why I love cruising. It's literally just being in the middle of nowhere, but you're somewhere. It's amazing. So this is like a quick little view of the gym, which was very big, very nice. Definitely recommend working out there if you are on the Oasis of the Seas. Alana, what are the things you loved about the cruise? Like, what is your favorite? So what are my favorite things about the cruise? I will say one thing before we start, and it still, I think, is a thing I love, is that even though there were over 4,000 passengers, I like that it did not feel that way. I like that the majority of the cruise, you do not feel that there is that many people on the cruise ship. The only place where you can kind of see that is when you're like going on the elevators. Okay, let's take a little quick break real quick. Real side note. Elevator etiquette. People on the cruise need to realize if somebody's already waiting for an elevator, you should let them go on the elevator. They were waiting there first. Don't go in and just because you happen to come in and you're closer to the elevator doors, oh, let me just go get in the elevator. It's rude. You should live by that in real life, but I'm not here to tell you what to do, but just be aware of that. Have that common decency, that kindness when you're on the cruise, because there's a lot of people and a lot of people wait and they don't want to have to deal with you doing that. It's so disrespectful to me. And maybe you feel different. If you do, definitely keep that comment to yourself. I don't want anybody arguing in the comments, but I definitely do not like when people did that. That's what I did not like. Going back to what I said, I liked there were so many activities that you could do so that you did not feel like there was so many people on the cruise ship. They had movie night, they had, rock climbing, there was laser tag, there was zip lining, there was escape rooms, there were projects and DIY stuff, there were classes, there were all kinds of things. There's so many activities, shows. You never felt like you were like there were so many people on the ship. Like it was so rare to feel that way, and I just enjoyed that about the ship, that it still felt like the small ship, not like this big huge giant ship like that it is, this massive ship. It still gave me that small ship vibe, which I like. So what I loved about the ship, definitely the shows. There were 7 shows, I believe. One Sky, there's Aqua 80, which is in the outdoor aqua theater. That was an awesome show. One Sky was awesome too. They had Cats, so the Cats Broadway show. They have that. That was amazing. They had Finest. He had his show. It was great. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't think I would. I kind of just went to it just because, but I actually really enjoyed his headliner. It was great. I liked his history lessons and the different people that he imitated and covered in his show. It was great. There also is an ice skating show, it's called Frozen in Time. I like that one. We went to that one on the first day. The only 2 shows we missed were the 2 comedy shows, which is a bummer because I love to laugh. You probably see me on here cackling in the video, like hee 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 ha ha because I love laughing. I love smiling. So definitely bummed that I missed that, but I've heard they're great, all the comedy shows on the cruise ship. A quick note on the shows on the Oasis and any Royal Caribbean ship. Just keep that in mind when you're doing your cruise planning, that you do need to reserve the time slot for the shows. Usually it's available from any point between the time that your check-in is available for Royal Caribbean and when you embark on embarkation day. That was new for me. So that's interesting. Like, it's a positive and a negative, but you are required to do a reservation in order to get into that show, to be guaranteed to get into the show. It has to be done because if you do not, you risk the fact that you may not be able to go into the show. This is also true for a lot of the activities, which I thought was shocking, is that you do have to reserve a lot of the activities. Some of them beforehand, some of them you could do kind of on the first day, but that was the one thing that I was just kind of like, wasn't really into it because, sometimes you're having fun one day, you don't want to go play laser tag, the laser tag that you scheduled, 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago. So just keep that in mind with the reservations. It's a pro and it's a con depending on who you are. I love the Love and Marriage show. I always love it with Royal Caribbean. It's hilarious. It's where they have couples who are like newlyweds, couples who are kind of in the middle, and then the longest married couple in the room, they come on the stage and they ask questions and have activities, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's so funny. And the Sexiest Man contest, that's also hilarious too. So there's a lot of fun activities on cruises, Royal Caribbean, and that I just love, and that makes it all the better. Like the environment, just everything about the cruise, I just loved it. I loved the people I met there. I loved the staff. I loved the food. It was an amazing experience, truly. Another thing I loved was the excursions. I did like the selection of excursions that we went on. I loved Jamaica, going to the Green Grotto and Dunn's River Falls. I liked the glass bottom boat. Definitely book your excursions in advance. Like, it's cheaper. Just book your excursions in advance. I liked Royal Caribbean onboarding process and offboarding process. Like, embarkation day was hella smooth. It was just smooth sailing. And I felt like in the past, it was totally different. Like, the process was totally different. I was thinking it was going to take a while, but literally from getting dropped off at the port to getting on the ship was like 7 minutes. Literally, it wasn't that long because you schedule your time when you come in, which that's normal. They've always done that. They check your bags. As long as you have your bags in order, you don't have anything strange in there like that. Everything was easy. It took longer to walk to where we had to walk to get on the ship than it did to go through security. It was so smooth because we had already done the check-in process before we even got to the cruise ship, taken our photos, uploaded our passports, and blah, blah, blah. So the process was so simple, and I loved that about this cruise. So definitely looking forward to future ones where smooth sailing. The vibe of the cruise was great, just really relaxing. It was really good. I enjoyed that. I definitely loved the solarium. That was an area I really, really enjoyed. The solarium was adults only. I especially loved it at night. It was beautiful. It was dark. You could see the stars. It was amazing. And I wish I would have went in it more, but like I told y'all, I was really chilling on the balcony. Like, I was on my balcony. I was just out there lounging. But next time, I will definitely be more in the solarium because I really enjoyed it. And last but not least, I really, really loved all of our staff. I know I mentioned it already, but I love the staff. They were just great people. Like I feel like Royal Caribbean, you always find great staff members. They're usually people who are just really upbeat and happy, but it's just every time they just top it every time. They get better and better. It's like every cruise I go on, it's like a better experience with the staff. And then it's another one, it's a better experience with the staff. I'm not a person who really has like a bad experience with Royal Caribbean's staff. Like I don't. So I'm very happy about that, and I know other people are pretty sure they're happy about it. And maybe it's just my outlook on life. Maybe because I believe when I go on the cruise, I'm going to have the best service. I'm going to experience the best things. I'm going to have the time of my life. Like I have this vibe. So maybe because I have that vibe and that energy I'm putting out there, it comes back to me. But I just feel like they keep topping it with the customer service. It just keeps going up and up and up and up. Now on to what I didn't really like. So there was a couple things that I wasn't really into, wasn't feeling, I was not satisfied with. First thing was I did not like that the food in like a lot of the restaurants was not hot. It was warm. Sometimes even like low key lukewarm. I don't know. Like it just wasn't hot. And I don't even like my food to be blazing hot. I'm not that kind of person. So for me to mention this is, I think, kind of valid. The food was never hot. I think the only place where I had like hot food was Johnny Rockets. Like one of the times I went there, because we went there twice, that food was like hot because the french fries and onion rings were like fresh off the grill. But even my burger at Johnny Rockets twice wasn't hot. It was just warm. And I just thought it was very interesting because Royal Caribbean historically like has had such great hot food. Like I've always had a pleasant experience with the food at Royal Caribbean. That was it was sad to me. I was sad. I was like, this food is never hot, it's never hot. And I don't feel like it was on the staff at all. I really liked the staff. They were good. They were great. And there was other people who mentioned that the food wasn't hot. Buffets, obviously, I didn't really expect the buffets to have hot food because, it's a buffet. Buffets, usually your food is like lukewarm to warm. Like it's never really hot to me in most buffets. But same thing, I felt like it was colder than it could have been, but I didn't expect it to be like hot in the buffet. So I will say that. I do plan to check out more specialty restaurants on my next sailings. This one we did Johnny Rockets twice, Seaside Barbecue. That was really good. But again, the food was just like warm, lukewarm. It wasn't really hot. That would be my one thing that kind of bummed me about the cruise, was that this like lukewarm food, which I don't know. Some people might say that's not worth it, and some people may say it is. I still feel like the cruise was worth it, even because the food was still good. It just wasn't hot. If you are a cruiser who's been on Royal Caribbean before 2020 and then after, so before 2020 and then from any time between 2020 and now, let me know in the comments if you noticed that the food was different than before. Because I don't know if this is a Royal Caribbean thing or if it just was the Oasis on this sailing because it's a bigger ship. I have no idea. And so if you do know or you have comments, definitely let me know, because it's something that is very interesting to me, and I hope to find out very soon when I go on my Alaska cruise or Greece. And then of course I want to go on the round the world cruise, and I want to do that in the end of either 2025 or 2026. That is the goal for that one, saving up for that. But I'm curious about people's opinions on the food. So definitely, if you have an opinion on that, let me know in the comments. The second thing I didn't really like was like your choices of restaurants during non-peak hours. I guess you would call non-peak eating hours. So like specifically, we'll say in the later evenings. Back in the day, and I know they got rid of this a while ago, but Royal Caribbean used to have a midnight buffet where they would have like food, it would have like desserts, chocolate covered strawberries, like a whole bunch of stuff, and they had like ice sculptures. It was really beautiful. It was honestly like the highlight of the night. Like I used to love that. But I've noticed in watching YouTube videos and myself being on Royal Caribbean that they don't do it anymore, and it's so sad because it was so good. So I don't know if they got rid of that because of cost or if people weren't going, but I feel like only having pizza available after 10-11 p.m. is kind of annoying. So they would only have pizza, the pizza spot's always open at night, and then room service pretty much. And to me, I'm like, what if you're out? I don't drink like that, and I didn't drink on that cruise, but you're out drinking, right, till like 1 a.m. People want to eat, but it's like your only choice is pizza or room service. I just think it's weird on a cruise. Like you would think that they would have more options. And the room service, to me, the menu wasn't that appealing. So that was just my own opinion. I feel like hopefully maybe they'll think about bringing back a midnight buffet, even if it's like in a smaller scale. Me and my mom were kind of talking about it. Like that would be great. Like I think I would stay up later to eat personally, but for me, I'm not trying to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning and just eat pizza. I didn't even eat, now I think about it, I didn't even eat any of the pizza. And I think it's just because, to me, taking off my aligners, my Invisalign for that pizza wasn't really worth it. So yeah. The next thing I did not like was the towel check-in and check-out. I wish I could like Try to roll my eyes. That's what I didn't like. I was not into the towel check-in process. They have this rule that you check out a towel and basically you have to check that towel back in, otherwise you get charged $25 per towel, which is ridiculous to me. It's like, it's ridiculous not because of the price, but that I have to, every time I check out a towel, I have to take this towel everywhere I go and check it back in. You go to a resort, or if you go to a spa, you get the towel and you just put them into bins. Like, that's how it works. But on this cruise, I don't know why, but you have to check it back in. And I just think if there's a valid reason that they have, which I did not see, maybe I would change my perspective. But to me, it's like I said, it's annoying to have to stand in a line to get the towel and then you have to go stand in a line to get another one. Definitely boo Royal Caribbean for the towel check-in and check-out process. Did not like it. Another thing I didn't like was that they didn't have a person doing the towels inside of the solarium, the adults only area. So when you wanted a towel, you had to go out to the middle of the ship to go to one of the people there to get a towel, which I think that also was kind of like weird to me. There was multiple moments on the ship where I was wondering if the ship is actually understaffed. I'm not sure, but that's what it kind of was giving me the vibe of, that they may not have had as much staff as was needed on the cruise ship, because every time I was in the solarium, there was never like a person in there doing the towel check-in, check-out process. You always had to go out. And that's kind of annoying, because like, what if somebody forgot their towel or somebody stole their towel and then they're like, oh, I'm cold and I can't get another towel, get another towel from the towel person. I have to go walk cold all the way across the ship. So wasn't really into that. It's not a big deal, but just I wasn't really into that part. The last thing I didn't care for, but I also cared for, and I kind of hinted on it earlier, is that I didn't really like that you had to reserve things. I like the idea of doing it because obviously it gives them a head count. I understand why they probably started doing it was because of the 2020 when they were getting cruise ships back up and running and stuff after that. But sometimes when you're on a cruise, you don't want to have to plan every single thing out, before you get there. I get it that it's efficient with time, but as I've gotten older and been really, like I said, stepping into kind of like how I want to be in my femininity and kind of just go with flow, I don't want to schedule every single moment of my day out like that. And they kind of force you to have to do that when it comes to Royal Caribbean now with their app. And I wasn't really into it, but I also see the pros of it, because obviously reserving things allows you to be able to have priority seating in events, because sometimes they sell out. Like, you can't even go to the show if you don't have a reservation, or going to a restaurant, normally you do have to make a reservation and things like that. But the truth is you're on vacation. So your feelings may change throughout the course of it. And so I don't like having to be pressured to reserve things. So that is kind of my pro and my con, the thing I liked, but then also didn't like. And let me know your thoughts on that. Like, if you like the new process of kind of reserving things on your phone, because it is easy, but if you miss the opportunity and things fill up, you can't do it. You're not able to do the activity, which kind of sucks, because you pay for this trip to go and do all these things, but you may not be able to do all of them based on not knowing or not having reserved things. And I saw that happen with people. They had no idea they had to do these things, and they just thought it was like old school cruising, from 5-6 years ago, where you get your cruise compass, on your bed and you kind of go about your day. You just have to schedule your excursions in advance, and you do your reservations for your restaurants the day you get on the cruise. Definitely share your thoughts on that. I would love to hear them in the comments, because I'm definitely curious on what people who cruise more often than me have observed, or people who are newer to cruising, what they've observed and what they like and didn't like. So let's start a conversation in the comments. That'll be great. A little discussion. That being said, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you did find something interesting for your next cruise, or something to think about when you're booking, or thinking about your travel arrangements for the future. Thanks for watching. As always, I will see you next week. With all my love, Lana.